मुझे इस बात की खुशी है, कोविड के कहर के बावजूद शिप ने नवंबर 2020 में बेसिन ट्रायल्स और अभी कुछ दिन पहले मेडन ट्रायल्स पूरे कर लिए हैं। इस पर न केवल 40 फाइटर प्लेन्स आ सकते हैं, बल्कि यह एंटी एयर, एंटी सबमरीन और लैंड पर वार करने वाले मिसाइल से भी लैस है। यह कैरियर हमारी रीच इंडियन ओशन से बढ़ाकर पैसिफिक और अटलांटिक ओशन तक कर देगा। आईएनएस विक्रांत की कमीशनिंग न केवल नेवी के लिए बल्कि इंडियन डिफेंस हिस्ट्री में भी एक गोल्डन मूवमेंट होगा। भारत की स्वतंत्रता की 75वीं वर्षगांठ और 1971 में भारत की विजय की 50वीं वर्षगांठ सेलिब्रेट करने का इससे अच्छा अवसर शायद ही कोई। साथियों, आज जब हम अपनी आजादी की 75वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं, अपने राष्ट्र नायकों और पूर्वजों, महापुरुषों के सपनों को पूरा करने की दिशा में आगे बढ़ने की हमारी प्रतिबद्धता है। और मुझे यह कहते हुए बहुत खुशी है और गर्व की अनुभूति हो रही है कि हम महात्मा गांधी, सरदार पटेल और पंडित दीनदयाल उपाध्याय के दिखाए गए स्वदेशी, राष्ट्रीय एकता और रक्षा क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता के पर तेजी से हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। मैं मझगांव डाक शिपयार्ड लिमिटेड के सीएमडी और उनके साथियों को अपनी तरफ से और अपनी सरकार की तरफ से भी ढेर सारी बधाइयां देता हूं। बार बार मैं उन्हें बधाइयां देता हूं। साथ ही मैं आईएनएस विशाखापट्टनम के साथ जुड़े सभी नेवल ऑफिसर्स एंड कमांडर्स को भी अपनी तरफ से हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं। इस अवसर पर और अधिक कुछ न कहते हुए मैं एक बार पुनः आप सभी को बधाई देता हूं और मैं सरकार की ओर से हर प्रकार के सहयोग के लिए आप सबको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं। भविष्य के प्रयासों के लिए आपको कामयाबी हासिल हो, इसके लिए पुनः उसकी सफलता की शुभकामनाएं देते हुए अपना निवेदन समाप्त करता हूं।
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Raksha Mantri will now unveil the ship's plaque. All guests are requested to remain seated.
देवियों और सज्जनों, माननीय रक्षा मंत्री अब जहाज के फलक का अनावरण करेंगे।
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Raksha Mantri will now proceed for a walk around of the ship.
देवियों और सज्जनों, माननीय रक्षा मंत्री अब जहाज के संक्षिप्त दौरे पर जाएंगे।
So, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, they're commissioning INS Vishakhapatnam, and he has been saying that she is vigilant, she is valiant, she shall always be victorious. And India's first indigenous P-15 Bravo destroyer Vishakhapatnam ready for commissioning, and he's just doing that. Ankit, over to you. Built by the Mumbai-based Mazgaon Dock Limited, the missile destroyer measures 163 meters in length, 17 meters in width, and has a displacement of 7,400 tons. And it is touted as one of the most powerful warships ever built in India. The ship that is equipped with the numerous state-of-the-art weapons and has significant indigenous content of about 75%. Now, the high level of Indianization of the ship is also being considered as one of its very important features, which would increase the Indian Navy's mobility, its reach, and flexibility in international waters. And according to the Ministry of Defence, Vishakhapatnam will also contribute towards India's Atmanirbhar mission and is a potent platform capable of undertaking multifarious tasks and missions spanning a full spectrum of maritime warfare. So Visakhapatnam, INS Visakhapatnam are ready and raring to join the leadership of the P-15B class of indigenously built stealth guided missile destroyers. It is equipped with the state-of-the-art weapons and sensors. It is capable of racing at 30 knots. The ship boasts of an array of weapons and sensors. And let me go back to Ankit. Ankit, the commissioning formally has been done by the Raksha Mantri.
Absolutely, the commissioning has been done. The INS Visakhapatnam has joined the ranks of the Indian Navy's warships. It is an extremely significant ship. We've been telling you all morning what is so important about it. But now I want to tell you about what the Defence Minister said in his speech. Three very key statements the Defence Minister made. The first is regarding Atmanirbharta. He praised Atmanirbharta. It was a theme through his entire speech. He says that this is an example of India making things for the world. We are not only making ships for our needs, but we can make them for the world's needs. Even the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Karambir Singh, he had also praised and he had called the INS Visakhapatnam the biggest example of Make in India and Atmanirbharta. So the Defence Minister did the same and he widened its ambit. He's called it the biggest example of how India can make for the world. The second important point he said, he called those nations who have a narrow hegemonic view, those nations that are weakening the laws of the sea, the 1982 Convention of the Laws of the Sea, he called those nations who are weakening them irresponsible, and he touted India's responsibility and how India is a responsible nation in ensuring that the laws of the seas are not weakened and violated. He alluded many times to the goings on in the Indo-Pacific. It was a clear message aimed at China, but of course Rajnath Singh did not name China, but it's extremely clear who this message was directed at. And last and finally, he gave a big update beyond the INS Visakhapatnam about the INS Vikrant, the indigenous aircraft carrier, the IAC-1 that is under construction, that is undergoing trials, that may even be inducted next year. He said that there is no fitter way to mark India's 75 years of independence and 50 years since the 1971 war rather than by inducting the INS Vikrant, which he said will extend the Indian Navy's capabilities beyond the Indo-Pacific, beyond the Indian Ocean. He even named the Atlantic Ocean as a place where India will be able to project power, and that is extremely important for a superpower, Amita, because that is what aircraft carriers allow you to do. They allow you to project power very, very far off from your own seaboards. And so these are the three important points that Rajnath Singh made. He is currently taking an inspection of the ship. He is taking a walk around of the INS Visakhapatnam. We have earlier today given you the first and most exclusive visuals and a walkthrough of the entire ship, a tour of the entire ship. You can watch that on republicworld.com as well. I'd like to show you again the ship, why it is so important. And why the Chief of Naval Staff was praising it is because almost all of its components, almost all of the materials, right down to the steel, has been made in India. It's manufactured in India. It is an extremely advanced warship, so that's not like they're cutting any corners there for indigenization. India is well capable of designing and executing and inducting warships of this kind of class. So it is going to seriously boost and augment the Indian Navy's capabilities. The INS Visakhapatnam, just beyond where the officers are standing, you can see the plaque that was inaugurated. So how the commissioning happens is that the Defence Minister and the officers of the Navy, they hoist the flag of the Navy, and that was hoisted at the aft of the ship. There is also a flag of India, the tricolor, at the bow of the ship, that is the front. We are currently looking, if I'm not mistaken, if my ship terminology serves me right, on the port side, that is the left side of the ship, and the right side is the starboard side. You can see there are two guns that are visible. I don't know if you can make out, but they are tipped by, their barrels are tipped in yellow color. So those are the port side two guns, and there are similar mirroring two guns on the starboard side. There is one main 76 millimeter caliber gun at the bow, that is the front. But those guns are not what is really defining this about the ship. The surface-to-air missiles, the surface-to-surface missiles, the torpedoes, the anti-submarine rockets, these are what actually define the ship and give it the prominence that it deserves, because it is capable of waging war against targets in the land, in the air and in the sea, and also underwater against submarines. It also has, we are looking at it right now, 2 hangar doors. We are looking at 2 hangar doors that are capable of housing 2 helicopters. So it can also project power beyond its range. It has a range of about 4,000 nautical miles. It can take up missions with an endurance of 45 plus days, and deep sea, deep blue sea missions even beyond that. But with the helicopters, it gives it an added mobility. It can project power beyond its visual radar. Speaking of radar, it also has a very advanced communications deck as well as the radar system that we are showing you right now. You can see the radar. It is black in color. It's slightly different colored from the gray of the rest of the ship. The color of the ship is also incredibly important because it is a stealth guided missile destroyer, and it is the paint that gives it the stealth, the paint and the design. So the paint is also a anti-radar coating, and so while an enemy is likely to spot some kind of blip, the enemy is likely to think that this giant ship, this giant 163 meter long ship is no more than a fishing boat. That is what any enemy who is spotting it on radar is likely to think, and when they stumble across it, they'll find out that it is a fully capable destroyer of the Indian Navy. So that is the breaking news here. The INS Vishakhapatnam has been commissioned into the Indian Navy. It has been inducted into the Indian Navy by the Defense Minister, who has made 3 very, very crucial points. One is he has taken on China and those other countries that have narrow hegemonic views that want to weaken the laws of the sea. He has taken, he has hailed Atmanirbharta and how the INS Visakhapatnam is a shining exemplar of Atmanirbharta, how it projects India's power to manufacture for the world. There is nothing that India cannot manufacture. He gave an entire history of how India's shipbuilding has evolved through the years. Even in the Middle Ages, in the 1400s and the 1500s, India's shipbuilding was considered very advanced for that age. India was a dominant maritime power during that time. Our maritime capabilities were curtailed under the British Raj, but before that India was at a situation where it accounted for more than 50% of the world's GDP, and a lot of that was down to us having 2 very, very long coastlines from which we could project power on either side. We could trade on either side. We had enormous shipbuilding capabilities, so that was something that was not lost on Rajnath Singh. So he gave an entire account of how India is entirely capable of designing ships of this class, and last but not least, he looked forward to the future. He spoke about the INS Vikrant, indigenous aircraft carrier, and how it will enable India to project its power even into the Atlantic. That is what a superpower needs to do. It needs to be able to have its influence all around the world, not just in one isolated corner or even one ocean as large as it is. So that is the breaking news from the Mumbai naval dockyards here today, Amita.
Well, a detailed report by Ankit there, because the commissioning of the destroyer that has also been done, and it finds a lot of significance in terms of the country's feat in self-sufficiency. But Ankit, I believe you were the only journalist on board the INS Vishakhapatnam. Tell us about your experience.
Absolutely. We were the only ones to be able to be allowed on board. That is Vijay Mukot and I. We were on the ship for about 10 or 15 minutes, during which time we got a detailed tour, or we rather took the audience through a detailed tour. So we were at the front of the ship, that is the bow of the ship. And from there, we were able to, right from the start, Amita, from the size of the anchor, from the size of the chains that weigh the anchor to the large gun that is mounted at the front of the ship, to the captain's what is called the bridge of the ship. That is where the captain sits. That's where all the control is. We were able to see the surface-to-air missiles, the surface-to-surface missiles. They are in this turret battery form. Beyond that, the communications tower, which you are seeing now, as well as many, many other contraptions that I really don't know that much about. I could maybe venture a guess. There was something that looked like it was high-intensity lights for the ship to be able to operate in the dark. There were many aspects of this incredible naval vessel that we are yet to learn about, but it's very, we were very happy to be able to take the audience through. We even saw the innards a little bit. We didn't venture inside, but we took the audience to one of the doors of the ship from where you could venture inside. 300 crew members, Amita, are likely to stay on the ship as it goes on its missions in the high seas. So that is the size and the capability that it has. And you can see that report. The detailed walkthrough from inside the INS Vishakhapatnam on republicworld.com, and you can see it on our YouTube and our Instagram and our Twitter and our Facebook pages as well. So I urge all audiences, it's an exclusive report. We were the only ones to be able to go in at that point in time, and it is definitely a must watch, and it will give you a true sense of what India is capable of building, because when you're there, the ground seems very, very strong and solid, and you just know that there is a lot of quality that has gone into making this, and it is a solid vessel that really augments India's capabilities, and it is a short global sign of what India is capable of doing and what India is capable of making. So that is where we are right now, Amita. I'd urge all audiences to go to Republic World and to see that report and to find out for themselves what it is like to be aboard the INS Vishakhapatnam.
Well, Ankit, thanks very much for that detailed update, because almost 3/4 of the ship's contents that have been made in India contributing towards the country's Atmanirbhar Bharat, and it is equipped with an array of weapons and sensors. The ship is one of the biggest machinery to roll out of the Indian docks in a while. Thank you very much, Ankit, for that, and all of the updates you can watch on republicworld.com. Let's move on now to political updates.